and the Aura inventory directory. So you want to issue the same, du space minus sh. And then you see that the Oracle one is the one occupying space because the Aura inventory only has 4K. So now you're going to cd Oracle. Is it? Now you have 7 directories. Now you want to do the same thing. You want to know which one is the one occupying space. Okay, now from what you see here, you can see that product is occupying space. That's normal because that's where your database is. 1.1, that's for the ADR. So you know that you can just come here. You should go to the ADR and delete. Usually when your database is has a DBA, you should, if your user one is full, the first place to go is in your ADR because you have log files there that you don't need anymore, that you really might not need anymore. Okay, so you cd the ADR, that is, you have RDBMS, TNS. Okay, now du space minus sh, but you already know that it's in RDBMS because that's where you have your log files, right? So here in RDBMS you have 1.1 gigabytes. So you cd to RDBMS. You guys can stop me if you have questions, okay? So here you have like all the directories for different databases. Now you do the same thing, du minus sh. Now you have Florida. No, not Florida. Which one is occupying? Okay, you can see that the universe one is the one occupying space. It's 819 megabyte. Okay, that's a lot. And the holes 1, 2 is occupying some space, but it's mainly that one. Okay, the stars 2 is occupying a lot of space. So what you want to do is go to the universe directory and then cd to the universe case. This is annoying. I'm sorry, the Zoom screen is appearing and I cannot edit. I want this out of the way. Okay. Now you issue the same du space minus sh. Oh. Okay, here you can see that, okay, everything is in the trace directory, right? So it's coming from the trace files, the log files. And let's go to cd trace.
Emerald, I don't see your screen.
Yes.
I don't know why your screen just stopping at this time. I don't know why.
You don't see my screen? I don't know. It's just supposed to be sharing. I don't know. Actually, I do see my screen because I use my phone as well, and I can see my screen from my phone. So maybe your problem has an issue or the device you're using.
Okay, it's okay now.
You can see it now? Can you see it now? Okay, let me just continue. Now you're going to leave the trace file and you see you have so many trace files. Right? So when you have so many trace files like that, what you want to do is, usually you have .trc and .trm. For it to take less time, usually you just start by removing rm all.trc, right? Make sure you don't put any space, just rm space.trc. And then you can do the same for trm, rm space star.trm. Means that all the files that end with trc will be removed, and all the files that end with trm will be removed. It's taking a while, but okay. Now from here, I can just do df minus h, and you see I have more space. It was something like maybe 72, and now it's down to 767. I would advise you to only go and remove log files. Don't try to delete anything else because it might cause issues or database performance issues. So don't go and delete. Anything else in user one. Even in oral data, make sure that you're not deleting actual of a database anymore, but don't go and delete just anything. You need to make sure you know what you're deleting. Okay? Yes. What's your question? What's your question? I heard someone say I have a question, right?
I want to know if you have to clean like all every time, or is periodically.
No, you don't have to click all. You can just do du space minus sh, right? And then a specific directory, like if you know where you have issues, right? You can directly do like du space minus sh space that directory name, let's say universe, to be able to view what's the space that specific directory and all that directories in it are using. But usually, since you're not supposed to know, right, where the space issue is coming from, then you should definitely du space minus sh all, so that you can actually know and compare which one you might want to go to first to delete the log files that you don't need anymore, right? Because you might go to a directory that doesn't really need you to go to, and delete trace file that you don't really need to delete because it doesn't really take that much space, right? Some trace file can only be like 2 kilobytes, but some trace file can also be like 2,000 kilobytes, right?
I want to know,
So that's why it's better to.
in this place, when you check, you see is the trace file is have more place. And in this case, you just clean all the trace file. My question is, what I want to know, if every time you have to clean, like if you see your problem is the trace file, you have to clean all the trace file, or you can clean the specific one.
Yeah, you can clean a specific one. You can just do rm.
Like you can clean for 1 week.
And that specific trace file, let's look here, right?
Yeah.
You can just do that, rm, and then that specific trace file. but that specific trace file doesn't exist anymore, right? So you cannot remove it. But it's just a simple RM command, RM, and then you just copy, you just paste the trace file you want to remove. Here it didn't go through because it was already deleted, but it says no search file or directory. But if you have like, if you can see that, okay, that space, that trace file is occupying a lot of space and the other one aren't really a problem and you might need the other ones, then you just RM space that specific trace file. You can do that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I wanted you guys to know that because you will encounter that problem and you will have to know how to manage your space. It's very important as a DBA to know how to manage your space. Okay, your disk space. Okay, okay, we can go back to the questions. Where did we stop last time? I don't even remember. Did we explain Aura 01555? I don't even remember where it's I know we talked about quotas, we talked about least privilege, we talked about Oracle Vault, we talked about passport security
We stopped
features.
at log conflict.
What is a log conflict?
No, the types of logs. We explained the types of logs. That's when the teacher came.
Oh, okay. Okay. I will go with the different types of logs. Like, can someone explain it? Like with your own word, don't go and read the notes. The whole point is for you like guys to like understand it. Hello, Renalda.
Emerald.
Renalda, can you explain it, please? I know you know. Why are you shy? Go ahead.
Okay, so anyway, I don't know whether my explanations are correct or not. So we have the exclusive roles, the share roles, and the Emerald, I have a question first of all. I want to know role exclusive and exclusive log, are they the same thing?
No, actually, similar. Okay. When you explain logs, right, you need to say that there are two types of logs, right? Share log and exclusive logs. And then you proceed to say that there are different levels, right? There's a row level log and a table level log, right? And then from there, that's when you can explain that when you have a row exclusive log, table exclusive log, shared log, row share, that's when you can go down like you see, so that it doesn't look like, so that you don't get it from what you read in your, I'm not saying that you shouldn't read what's in your note, but the most important thing is that you can understand it. Because I can guarantee you, if you don't understand it, you'll forget it within a month, not even a month, maybe 2 weeks from now. Because we are just doing revision, but you see that the way we explained it, it seemed like it didn't really work. So the main goal here, and I think Prof told you guys, he told us the same, is to understand what's actually going on. What's a table level lock and what's a row level lock. Whether it's shared or exclusive, right? And you also need to be able to use examples. Oh, Jesus. Making noise. So Renalda, you want to add something or you feel like you can do it?
No, I don't want to add something.
Okay.
Emerald,
You guys remember,
and
go ahead.
to know if in the case, if this case happened to if this case happened to a catalog, do you have to use the same step?
What do you mean?
If
Did you say archive logs?
yes, if the catalog don't have the space, like no more space,
Exactly. I mean, there are different ways to do that because you can delete them with directly from Arman, but you can also do actually no. It's better to directly delete archive logs from Arman, the recovery manager. But you can also do it from here though, but usually then you'll have to go back to Arman and then delete obsolete and expired.
okay.
But okay. But anyway, the answer to your question is yes. You can come here and see archive logs file that you don't need anymore and just delete it. It's just that by doing that, it will cause other issues that you'll have to fix. That's what I mean.
Okay. Okay.
Because if your database thinks that those archive logs are there, it will try to use those archive logs, but they are not there anymore physically, right? So it won't be able to read from it. So you'll have to delete the obsolete archive logs and then rerun whatever you want to do. Maybe you want to do cloning or whatever you want to do. So usually it's better to delete them directly. But if, let's say, the archive logs from a database that you don't use anymore or a database that is dropped, then yes, you can definitely come here and delete the expired the archive logs file you don't need anymore.
Okay. Thank you.
So let's talk about exclusive locks. And I want all of us to participate. I don't want just to be the only one talking. I want all of us to participate. Let's start with row level lock. I think we all know row level lock, right? Right. Every time you issue DML, right, on a specific row, you will directly get the exclusive lock on that row, right? We all agree on that. We practiced that last time. We practiced that when we were on chapter 9. Because I want you guys to interact, you know, like I want everybody to interact. Yes.
I don't know if I'm the one who misunderstood, but I think last class the prof and who was talking about the exclusive log, he mentioned instead DGL.
Okay. What did he mention?
He mentioned DGL.
Yes.
No, go to that one. But transfer no.
That's for table level exclusive, right? We're talking about row level exclusive. Like this is what This is why we need to really to be able to make a differentiation. You see, because if you just go straight to your notes and you see, oh, row share, row exclusive, shared exclusive, it will be confusing if you don't even understand that there are row level locks, table level lock, right? It will just be like, maybe you might memorize it if you have good memory, but if you don't understand it, it's gonna leave your brain in like less than a month. But you have to keep that in your brain for a very long time. It can't leave you, right? So that's why I really want us to really try to get this.
everywhere.
This morning they really got. So I want us to really get this. I don't want us to have issues about it.
Yeah, anyway.
I don't know how to take past me. I came across.
Hello? Okay, let me explain it. I'll try to explain it the best I can, but you guys will need also to cooperate, because if I just say it, you won't get it. You have to like say it as well and see what I'm doing or what I'm trying to say, right? Every time you issue a DML on a row, right? Let's say, unless it's a select statement, any other DML, update, insert, right? That specific, hello?
Emma, we are getting you.
Are you guys getting me? Because I hear someone else talking in the back. I don't know. I thought he had a question.
Somebody's talking in the background. Go ahead, Emma.
Okay. So I was saying that we practiced that before. So that's why I want us like to really, if someone can, I want someone to enter, I need at least 2 or 3 people to really get this so that you guys can share with the rest of the class, right? Because you might get one thing and the next chapter, maybe other thing, someone else might really get it, you know? So I have to connect people. Every time you update, let's say update salary from that specific ID employee, right? You're updating that specific row, right? Concerning that specific employee, right? Let's say Scott. So the user updating that row has an exclusive lock on that row, which means that no one else can come and update that row or insert in that row. No one else. The only thing another user might do would be able to select, right? Because of read consistency queries. That's the only person that would be able to do that, but no one else. However, that row, right, that let's say, okay, let me use names. Renalda. Let's say Renalda comes in and she wants to update the salary of someone, let's say of Anita, right? So she gets the exclusive lock. She doesn't even need to put that row on exclusive lock, right? On row in exclusive mode. It will automatically be in exclusive mode. Now, someone else will be able to select and only view the data that are on that row, right? But no one else would be able to drop the table in which that row is, right? Right, because we know that a table is a set of row and columns, right? So that row is part of a table. A user cannot come and just drop it.
Please excuse me.
Yes.
Please, I just came in. Where are we?
Hey, Jesus. We are talking about locks.
Okay.
So if you really understand locks, can you explain it? Anyway, I started. I started, let me just continue. Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So we say that when we talk about locks, right, there are two types of locks, right? There is a shared lock and exclusive lock. Those are the two that you have. And then there are different levels, right? You have table level lock and you have row level lock, right? Now let's start with the easiest one to understand. It's the row level lock in exclusive mode, right? When the row is locked in, we were mentioning Ronaldo, right? We were saying that, let's say, for example, Ronaldo is updating the salary of Anita, right? So, you know, employee ID would be the primary key of that table, of that table, right? And Anita ID would be one row, right? Anita ID, salary, all of this, they would all be in one row, right? So Renalda will come to update that row. As soon as she updates that row, right? As soon as she issues this key sequence statement, update, salary, blah, blah. As soon as she does it, the table will be locked. The row, that specific row will be locked in exclusive mode. But the table itself, where that row is, will not be locked in exclusive mode. That table will be locked in row share mode. Why? Why is it locked in row share mode? It's locked in row share mode because other users, let's say another user from the evening, Natu comes in and wants to have access to another row of that table, right? So Natu can update another row within that table. So the table itself is in row share mode because other user can come, right, and update other rows. So they are sharing the right to update different rows as long as they're not the same rows. But the table itself is not in exclusive mode, even though all the rows on that table are in exclusive mode. Does it make sense? Hey. It seems like it doesn't.
Emerald,
Yes.
that means the row shares they permit like the access to the lock table, but they prohibit the session from locking the entire table for exclusive access.
Yes. I know you're reading the notes, but I want you to say that in your own words. I want you to say that in your own words because you will forget those notes or you'll have to come back to them all the time, right? You have a table. Okay, let's try to start up. I'm going to show you a table. Oh, I wasn't connected to the environment. My bad. Let's select all from HR.employee. I just did from, but I didn't write from. Oh yeah, that database doesn't have HR in it. Okay, let me try to connect to another one. That one doesn't have HR. Guys, give me one of your database, please. this? You guys can give me one of your database. I don't have HR because we were asked to drop many of HR in many of our databases. So. Okay. Okay, that's the HR. Okay, I don't need to do that. I can just, it's a really. Okay, so let's play with that. Let's give that scenario, right? So Ronaldo comes in here. We have like different, here we have the structure of the table, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, whatever, rows, right? So let's say Anita comes and she comes and she updates an employee ID, let's say, right? An employee, let's say. Maybe and she comes to update, maybe she changes the ID of an employee or whatever, or she changes, and then Ronaldo comes. Okay, when Anita comes and she updates that specific row, right? That row would be locked in exclusive mode, right?
Right.
That row will be locked in exclusive mode, but the table itself, the table is HR.employees, right?
Right.
The table HR.employee will not be locked in exclusive mode. It will be locked in row shared, right?
Correct.
Now, Anita has the lock on that employee underscore ID row, right, in exclusive mode. Then Renata comes in and she locks that one. She updates the first name of someone. Maybe it was misspelled. Maybe it was in Johnson and someone spelled it like Jensen or whatever. And then someone else comes here and update the last name, right? And then Estelle comes here, she updates the email, right? And then Natalie comes here, she updates the phone number, right? So on. So even though employee underscore ID is locked in row exclusive mode, other users can still come and update other rows, right, in that table. That's why we say that the table is locked in row share mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because other users can come and update. Then of course, if the row is locked in exclusive mode, then it's locked. Then no one else can come to update that row also. That person will have to wait in line, right? Until the lock is until the person commits or roll back, right? But the table itself is in row share mode, so that no one else can take that whole table in exclusive mode. And when it's in exclusive mode, we say that's when you can drop your database or alter your database or rename your table, I'm sorry, right? But how will you be able to rename, let's say, a table or drop a table while there are rows in that table that are being updated? You know, it doesn't make sense, right? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Natalie.
Yes.
You see, it doesn't make sense to drop something while other people are doing it. It wouldn't even be good for read consistency queries. Are we getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's row exclusive. That one is row exclusive. And when a row is locked in exclusive mode, that's when the table is locked in row share mode, right? Because the users are sharing the rows. Let's say you can say, put it like that, like the users are sharing the rows in that table, like they all can have access to the table. They all can make updates, of course not at the same time, but they definitely can have access to different rows in that table, right? Now, are we good with that? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Oh my God, this issue, this
We
log
good?
issue, oh my God, this log issue, we're just gonna take it slowly.
Yeah, because I want you guys to really like, honestly, it's not hard. I know that when you read the notes, it might be confusing.
Yes.
I know. But if you try to put it in an example, right, it will make sense. I know that when you come and you read, oh, this is raw share over there, oh, and this is raw exclusive over there, oh, this is raw share exclusive, oh, wow, you know. I know it can be like confusing, but if you try to put in your own words and try to like practice it, see that, oh, wait, I can update that row, and I can also update that row, but they are part of the same table. Okay, but how is the table now? Can I drop that table? You say that, oh no, you cannot drop that table because someone is trying to update the row, right? So that's what, so that table cannot be locked in exclusive mode. It can only, it's already locked in shared lock mode, in row shared mode, right? So that's, I really want you guys to get that part. Okay, that was for row exclusive. Now, share table exclusive mode. That's when you can drop the, like Hasbunada said, that Prof was talking about, when you can issue a DDL, right? Hey, hello?
Yes.
When you can issue a
Yes.
DDL, right? You guys remember the DDL?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Of course, you cannot create, but you can alter, you can truncate, you can rename, right? You can drop a table, and that's when it's in exclusive mode. If a table isn't in exclusive mode, you won't be able to do that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we good with that? I think that one also is quite, okay. And of course, before you commit, let's say while you're altering a table, before you commit, of course, the people would still be able to see the structure of the pre-modified table.
Well, I can forget along during this period.
Now, when a table is locked in shared mode, we say that that's what is used to create indexes, right? Meaning everyone can have access to that table, right? Can be able to see that table, but no one can make updates to that table. You cannot update that specific table. You can only see it, right? Just like an index, you cannot really go and add a chapter to the Bible, right? You can just see it. I mean, I feel like you guys should discuss it in your groups, in your own groups, and talk about, like, try to discuss it and try to make sense out of it. And if you come with an answer, like with like something that you guys can agree on, you guys can bring it back. Or because it's very important, it's something that you have to know all the way until you finish Brontech at least. You have to make sure that you know what it is, because you never know what will be your question on interview day. You never know. So don't think, oh, let's just ignore that. No, you have to know it. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Okay, what's the next question? Let me look it up. What causes log conflict? No, what is a log conflict? What is a log conflict, guys?
Emerald,
Yeah.
I think a log conflict occurs when a transaction holds a log and another transaction attempts to place an incompatible log on the same resource.
Yes. The log doesn't have to be incompatible. The person might also try to
Please, whoever is hosting the meeting, can you give me permission to record, please?
You see that on text.
What?
Huh?
Please, I say whoever is hosting, please, can you give me permission to record?
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys, if somebody needs permission to record, can you just send a message so I'll know who's asking?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we were talking about log conflicts, right? That is a log conflict, guys.
A conflict is when more than one user is trying to access or make change to the same row. Or
Yes.
Hey, Emma. Emma.
Yes.
So can I also say a log conflict is a situation where two or more users are trying to access or make changes to a particular data?
Yes.
Okay.
At the same time?
Yeah, at the same time. Yeah, right.
Yes, at the same time is very important, but are not able to do it. Or is when a table has a table or row has already been locked in exclusive mode, and other users try to make changes to that specific row or table. That's when we have lock conflict, because the second user won't be able to lock that table and won't be able to. We'll have to wait, actually, right?
Yeah.
To the lock conflict, yes. So that's lock conflict. And next question. What causes lock conflict? What causes lock conflict? What do you
Uncommitted
think?
transactions.
Uncommitted transaction.
Yes, uncommitted. Someone forgets to commit, or right, or and leave that session right open, right, and leave the office for 2 weeks. Long-running transactions, exactly.
Unnecessary high locking levels.
Exactly. Right. Next question. How are lock conflicts resolved?
The user should either commit or case the session.
Commit.
Yes.
Roll back.
Yes. Exactly.
Roll
You
back.
commit, you roll back.
Roll back.
Or you key the session.
Yes. You, the DBA, can kill the session. You
Yes.
take it, yes. And yeah.
Emerald.
Or even the daemon process can also kill the session. But anyway, the daemon can also kill the session.
Oh, okay.
Emerald.
Automatically?
Automatically, yes, automatically. That's actually a very effective way to resolve lock conflicts, right? Okay. Next question. Okay. Oh, guys, I asked you last time. What's the next? What is undo data? No. What is a deadlock? What is a deadlock first? What is a deadlock?
It is when two or more sessions wait for data that has been logged by the other.
Yes, when two or one or more sessions are waiting for each other to commit, right, or roll back, right? In order to have access to each other's previous rows or tables. Are we good with deadlock?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, deadlock, you guys practice it anyway, so just put it in your own words. Okay, what is undo data? Someone asked me what's the difference between undo data and undo information. Do you guys think that there is a difference between undo information and undo data?
Data is information.
Yeah. some people might say information is processed data. But in that specific case, right, undo data and undo information. Undo data and undo information is the same. So what is undo data?
It is data that exists before modification.
Yes, it's pre-modified data. And what do you add about that? You need. I don't think that's how you would answer, right? You need to add more information.
Can I
Now,
add that it is stored in the undo segment?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. You should mention undo segment that they are pre-modified data. But see, since we have the other questions, then we don't need to go down. Since we will have to talk about everything else afterwards. Okay, the next question is, what is undo information used for?
It is used to recover from failed transactions.
Yes. And
To roll back uncommitted data.
yes. For rollback. For what else? Read consistency queries. Right?
Yep.
For what else? You guys know what read consistency queries are, right? You said yes, but now you say, okay. But it's okay. And what else?
No, go again to the question. Let's trash that. Go back again, take the question again.
You know, I'm just following like the question that was sent by Prof, right? I'm not giving you any, like, I'm actually giving them in order. So
yeah.
What is undo information used for? Why is it necessary? Why is it important? You say, I think that Renanda said it supports global transactions, right? And we talked about read consistency queries. And I asked what's read consistency queries, nobody's answering. But and also for flashback, right?
What
and for recovery.
So what are consequence queries?
I mean, I don't even know if I should have, okay. Read consistency queries, right?
Yeah.
It's so that I just.
Can I talk?
What did you say?
I said I just want to talk about the reconsistent.
Okay, go ahead.
Reconsistent queries provide results that are consistent with the data at the time of the query, at it started, at the time of the query.
Almost.
Did you get that?
Yeah, that's why I say almost. It's not at the specific time of a query. It's at any specific point in time.
When you start a query, anytime you start a query.
That's what I'm saying. It's not at when you start the query. It's at any specific point in time, right? At any specific point in time. That's what we talk about. We need undo segment even for flashback, right? Because when we do flashback, for example, on the table, right? You want to have access to the information of that table at a specific point in time, right? So it doesn't have to be the database like right now. Let's say someone is updating a row, right? And let's say she has been updating a row for 30 minutes. And if you select, right, that specific row, you'll be able to view the information that were there 30 minutes ago. Yes, it's partial, right? But it's mainly the fact that at any specific point in time, meaning even after if for example, the database was enabled, flashback was enabled, at a specific point in time, any user, anywhere, from anywhere, should be able to have access to the exact same data. This is read consistency queries, right? At a specific point in time, the information must be the same, right?
Thank you, ma'am.
It's just that simple. It's really just that simple. Just that the information must be consistent for all users at a specific point in time, so that if you want to do a point in time flashback to yesterday, 5 days ago at 5:02 p.m., the information should be exactly the same for all the users who try to have access to that table at that specific time, right? Now let's continue. Okay, flashback recovery from failed transactions. Okay. Next question. What are the different types of undo information? What are the different types of undo information?
Uncommitted undo information, committed undo information, and expired undo information.
But it has a name. You're not giving the exact name of that. It's not the exact name. You only gave one correct name.
Active undo
People who are having mute yourselves. Jesus, have mercy.
So we have.
Go ahead, Renalda.
I said active or uncommitted undo information, committed or unexpired undo information, and expired undo information.
Okay, now can you explain? I think it is list and explain, right? Or does it just say list?
You're the one who read the question.
I mean, you guys have the same questions. Okay, it just says what are the different types of undo, but you have to say that before the uncommitted, that's active, committed, and before the retention time, right? That's an expired is past the retention time, right?
Yeah.
We good with that? We all good with that?
We're good.
Okay, I hope so. Now the next one is explain ORA 01555. What is it? Okay, it's snapshot too old. What snapshot too old error? What does it mean?
I think it means that the original data is no longer available.
It's no longer available where?
On the undo table space.
Yes, in the undo segments, right?
Yeah.
It means that the original undo information is no longer available in the. Guys, I'm hearing a lot of noise from the background. Okay, what is undo retention time?
I think it is the number of seconds that that the committed undo data is retained.
Yes, and by default, what is it?
15 minutes, 900 seconds.
900 seconds, 15 minutes.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, that's basically what it is. Next question. I mean, you guys get your chapter 10 well, that's good.
Somehow.
What is guarantee undo retention? I wish we were in class because I would be asking the people who have not been talking like since the beginning, but they're lucky. What is guarantee undo retention?
Guaranteeing the retention doesn't mean like why you set up the undo segment by the time if the undo table space is full, this data cannot be overwritten by the time you start.
Yes. Yes, by default, right? Undo information would be overwritten, right?
Yeah.
But guaranteeing undo retention simply means that the information would be retained for a specific amount of time that is set by yourself. And that was the question, right? What is undo retention time? What is guarantee undo retention? So when it's guarantee undo, guarantees that you are not able to, the undo segment will not be overwritten. Now the other question I would have is, why is it necessary and when would we need that to set undo retention guarantee? For example, for long running jobs, right? Hello?
Yeah. Yeah. Get you.
What else? That's not it. I just gave one example.
Emerald, can you just repeat the question?
My question is, when would we need to like set undo retention guarantee? And I first started by saying if you want to run a long job, right? For long running jobs, it would be necessary to enable retention guarantee, right? Now,
Yeah.
can you guys give another example? Okay, I invite you guys to go and look it up. Do some research on that.
Emerald.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's correct. I think that if there is if there's not enough space in the undo table space.
Yes, that's the next question actually. That's not that one. The next question is, what is fixed size undo table space? What is a fixed size undo table space? Well, from the name, it's like a fixed size, right? It's setting the undo table space to a fixed size. Now, what you would want to say is why? Why would you do that? You'd say to support flashback operations, right? And also, if you don't want the table space to grow, to become too big, right? To prevent the table space from growing too large. But also, if you set the undo table space to a fixed size, you need to make sure that, that's why we're coming next to the undo advisor, make sure that you will not get snapshot to all errors, and you wouldn't have
DMF, yeah.
DMF failures. Yeah. Now, next question is about the undo advisor, right? Explain the undo advisor and what is it used for?
So, Emerald, have you defined like the what is a fixed undo? What is fixed size undo table space? Because I just gave the reason for changing the undo table space. Like, is that the definition?
So, are you expecting the definition from me?
No, I'm not expecting. I just got you talking, so I don't know if you were talking about that or you're giving it.
Yeah, it's a fixed size, right?
Yeah,
Undo.
I understand fixed, like yeah.
Yeah, it's setting the undo. It's fixed size. It's like it's set to a specific size, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the word is self-explanatory. Now, in your own words, you can say that. But
Emma, can I just give what the undo advisor is used for?
go ahead. Fixed size. I mean, because he's asking for definition of fixed size. What you want from that fixed size, like it's clear that it's a table. It's when you set the undo table space to a fixed size, to a specific size, right? But that's not the answer that Prof would be expecting from you, right? I mean, that you should give. You should add more information and explain why it's needed, why you need it, right? Why it's required, and in what cases it would be beneficial, right? Okay, go ahead, Ronaldo.
Okay, so I think the undo advisor is used to set the size of the undo table space and to set the low threshold value.
Exactly.
Really?
That's it. She gave the answer. She gave the answer. Go ahead, say it again.
I was saying that the undo advisor is used to set the size of the undo table space and to set the low threshold value.
Yes, yes. Like just as his name says it, right? It's an advisor, right? It's like it assists, right? It assists in providing, incising the undo table space and making sure that it's not too big or it's not too small to avoid ORA 01555 errors, and to make any set threshold, right, of the retention period for Oracle flashbacks requirements, right? That's basically it. Are we good with undo advisor? I mean, to be honest, we cannot spend too much time on the same things, because those are things that we saw before. And when we come back, that's why it's good to sometimes you go over your notes a little bit and then you come back, right? But anyway, that's undo advisor. To help you sizing the undo table space and retention period. And the next question would be, oh, and what is it used for? What is it used for?
Who is that?
Can the class leader mute the people having personal conversations?
Yeah.
Actually, we already said what it's used for. We already talked about resizing and said the threshold for retention time. So what is database auditing? What is database auditing, guys?
It is the activity of monitoring and recording configured database actions from the database user and the non-database user.
Yes, monitoring and recording. Yes, exactly. Monitoring and recording the changes made to that can be made to the database or the activity of specific users or different users on a database. I think from here we should also get what are some of the examples, or does it come after? Let me check the questions. Okay, yeah, that's the next question, right? What can be audited? What can be audited?
We can audit the privileges, like the system privilege and the object privilege.
SQL statement can be audited.
The DBA tool can be audited.
Yeah, the DBA can be audited, right? That's what she said. Privilege. Users with sys DBA and sys upper privileges can be audited. But what else?
Roles.
Emerald.
Yes.
Can we audit the hit ratio?
What do you mean the hit ratio, like in the buffer cache?
Yeah. I mean, I heard
sure
the teacher saying that in class one day, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure we can edit the hit ratio. Why not?
SQL statement.
Yes, thank you. You can edit SQL statement.
Logging attempt.
Yes. Start. Go ahead, continue. Logging attempts. Fail logging attempts. What else? Instant restart, for example. I mean, for that one, honestly, you would have to go and look it up because I can say it, you'll forget it by tomorrow morning.
Emerald, can we?
But at least you know SQL statement, the DBA. Those are at least already 2 examples, right? Fail logging attempts, instant restart. And, okay, next question. This is the next question. What is the audit trail?
It is where all the information are being stored.
Yes.
What is the information?
It
is where can we say it is where our data is being stored?
It's where our data is being stored.
No, it's not our data. Hold up. Let me get a word. Sorry.
Oh, please get the word.
Yeah, I must get it.
No, can we say that it's a location where the audit information have been stored?
Okay, Emma.
Yes.
I got the word now.
Okay, please.
So it's like it's a place where diagnostic data is being stored.
Yeah, audited information are being stored. Yeah.
Emerald.
I wouldn't say diagnostics because that would more be like with the ADR,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, they're not in the ADR. You guys remember on Sunday, right, when we practice?
Yes.
We create ADAM directory, you guys remember?
Mm-hmm.
And then we open the ADAM directory, right?
Yes.
Did you guys see the files?
Yes.
Did you guys pay attention to the files? Or when you guys even created your own database manually, you guys saw the audit files that were created, right?
Yeah, it's in ADOM. It's located in ADOM.
Yeah, they're in ADAM. Yeah.
Okay. So diagnostic data is located in ADAM.
No. Audit, right? Audit information, right? That are stored, that are kept in the audit trails. You'd find them in the ADAM, right? Now, the diagnostic you're talking about, that's like chapter 13.
It's on AWR.
That would be either in the ADR, right? Because the ADR is the automatic diagnostic repository, right?
Yes.
So that's where you'll have diagnostics, like the log file, the trace files, but definitely not. It's different. Just use audit instead of diagnostic because it becomes totally different when you say diagnostics, right?
Okay.
I know it sounds similar, but it's different. Okay. Next question is. I think that's where we stop with that's actually where we stop with the morning class. So if you guys have other questions, so we can continue. You can ask. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
You guys have questions? Hello? Or you guys want questions from me?
Yeah, well, good.
Okay, for the people who came in late, make sure you watch the beginning of the video because I showed you guys how to save more space, how to get more space from the directories. Because this morning someone had an issue with his database. He wasn't able to open it because his user one was full. So if you can practice that, and I'm serious, if someone comes to me with that error, that issue, I won't help you because we already did that. So you can just go back to the video and check how to fix that issue.
Where can we find the video?
There are at least 3 people recording, I think, or 4.
The video will go in the Dropbox. Just wait the end of the call.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Welcome.
Please, we have some issue with the Dropbox. I can't reach any video inside the Dropbox, any.
That's really not my, that's beyond my, I don't know. How come we cannot?
Also, please, those updating the videos on the Dropbox, try like the title of the video. Like, for example, if it's maintenance, if it's a chapter about maintenance, the video caption should be like maintenance or something.
Do you guys have access to the morning class Dropbox?
No.
I think you guys should. You guys might want to share because it seems like with the evening class, you guys have a lot of issues with your Dropbox. I don't know, but you guys might want to ask Zoe. I mean, unless he's the only one that had that issue, because every time people come back and ask me, tell me in private message, oh, I wasn't able to view the video, I didn't get the video, so.
So what I've noticed with the Dropbox is if you try to access through your phone, it will only give you part of the video. So my best advice is to try with your laptop.
I'm trying with my laptop, but I can't reach it.
I mean, honestly, I could give everyone the password, like my information to log in, but my only fear is that some people might go in there and switch up things. That's my only issue. So
yeah, it's not safe to give your password, definitely.
I mean, it's not any crazy because I don't have that. I created that Dropbox especially for the class, so I don't have any personal stuff in there.
Okay, if it's for the class, then why not share it? I mean, what would they do to it anyway?
The issue is that some people can go and delete something. It happened in the morning class.
Thank you very much.
Before they decided that only Zoe should have that password, but everybody has access to it.
Exactly.
If one person can,
why would anyone do that? That's crazy.
Oh yes, it happens. They're called human beings, you know. So
wow,
people go and do different crazy things, and they say, "I did it mistakenly," but the video is gone. So in that case, Zoe said everybody has the access to it, but nobody, you know, can do restricted privileges. But everybody can go there. If you cannot see it, it is something between you and your Dropbox and your laptop, and nobody can fix that. So if everybody else can see it, we cannot go and try to fix something because one person cannot see, because that thing is not broken. Or we cannot break something because the rest of the 40 of you else are seeing it.
So my question is this like an ongoing issue? Was this an issue before? Because I feel like I've only been getting messages about it just recently. I don't know if it's maybe the number of videos that's in there. I do not know. But as for me, I'm able to view it. I don't know because it's my information, but I've noticed like if you go through your phone, you only get part of the video. But if you can send a link to your email and open it on your laptop, you can have access to it.
It's just to download. It's easy just to download the app on your computer, then you can get it.
Anita.
So it seems like not everyone has that issue.
Hey, Anita,
Yeah.
can you send out a new link?
It's the same link I've always been sending, but sure, I'll send it through the class WhatsApp.
Okay. I mean, the issue here is not how long we're able to view the video. The issue is that you can't even play it. You can have access to the Dropbox, but you can't play any video. It keeps sending out messages like it's a connection problem or network problem.
Is that happening for everybody or?
No, I don't have that issue.
I can play my own. I can play my own video. My own.
It's not happening for everybody.
Okay, so how many people are facing the issue of not playing the video? I can hear one person said it. So it's not a class problem exam. How many people have the issue with playing the video? Let's hear so that we can see if it is a class thing and we'll fix it. But if it's one person, it's not a class problem.
I mean, in our group, 4 people.
And they all have the same problem with not being able to play the video. Are you using your laptop or using your phone?
Using the laptop.
All right, so somebody's going to try to do it and we're on Zoom and then we'll see it at some point. And then you can see what they're doing wrong. We'll have a break time, somebody's going to help you through that. You can share your screen. Right?
Right. So I just sent a new link. So I hope that works. And as far as naming the classes, I mean, I do my best to name like the day and the the day and the date. I think that should be good enough.
I think
If I have to go back in.
Yeah, it's good enough, but
It's
we
good
just
enough.
like ongoing. Just put like if there is a chapter, you just put it like on chapter or whatever topic that we're talking on that day. It's more better for the reference.
Okay.
Well, I'm thinking that if she posts the video maybe next day or the same day, if we've been taking our notes personally, you can mark it in your notebooks and you can refer to that to see what the video is actually talking about.
Not about the notebook. You know, it's not. We are not gonna refer to
Just
this
something
video
is
only
you
today.
just do like if it's, for example, chapter 1 is maintenance, you just put chapter 1 maintenance. It's simple.
It's simple. It's just a normal typing thing. It's not like something.
Okay, first of all, like I'm sorry, but I need to kind of address this issue.
Okay.
The Dropbox thing, it's not as easy as you guys think. It's really not. Like after the class, I have to wait for 2 or plus hours for it to download, and I have to wait for it to, then I have to upload and everything. So all these demands that you're making, it's a bit,
No, we are
I
not
don't
like
know.
we are not like making demand. We are just like pleading with you to like just help us to. I know understand the uploading and other delays, but we appreciate what you're doing. Thank you very much. But just help
I mean,
us.
I'm gonna try my best. Like,
Thank you. I know you try your best. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you in advance, darling.
So Anita, does it take time to you are recording it locally, correct?
yes, but
Okay,
it
so
has
it takes a while to upload.
not even uploading. It has to convert into MP3 or something like that.
Oh,
and then
okay.
and then after that, it takes about 30 minutes just to upload into the Dropbox.
Oh, okay.
It has to go through pattern.
Thank you so much for your service, Anita.
Okay. And I mean, like, for the Dropbox, I feel like this is because I wasn't getting the issue about, you know, not being able to view the video. So I don't know if it's that the videos are getting longer and longer, because now they're like 4 hours plus. Before they were like maybe 3 or 2 hours. So I don't know if that's an issue, but
The way it is, can you stop it and continue? I'm not sure.
Let me see the thing. Maybe we have this problem. Maybe it's some people don't have the appropriate app to play MP4 videos on their laptop, so they have to see if they can download or some support software.
Like so that I can be like maybe try with send some pictures them. And I usually send pictures.
Mute your phone.
I'm sorry.
So what we should do is if you again by the time maybe they will when we take a break then they jump online, they can see certain things, you know, or we can look for a quick way of helping them.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So when those who have issues, you bring it up during break or after class, somebody to walk you through. But if a few people can get it, I usually do not like to break something because I want to fix something. So look at it, most people can get to it, then we're good. All right.
Excuse me, Prof. Excuse me, Prof.
Yes.
And is something. The WhatsApp Banteg 26 is the WhatsApp for the class group. It's not for the group. If you got problem to fix it for your group, go fix it on your group, on your own group. This one is for the class. You know, bring you problem the group for the basic class WhatsApp, please.
Okay, Femi, I understand, and I had a conversation with Chinedu, who apologized for taking it out there, and they clearly had a group problem, and people let their tempers take the better part of them, and it was out of character. And please, I do not believe in one chance. I believe in multiple chances. But what we're saying is that you can never lose your cool, no matter what happens. Because when I saw the text, I don't even know what the complaint is about. But he gets it, it takes everything out of context. So what I want us to do is, if we have something, we discuss it. If we cannot get to along in a group, I suggest we dissolve the group. I suggest we move. I've always told you, these groups allow you to make them so I don't force people onto you. So that you go to where you are most comfortable. So it is a choice, and we are adults, and we are going to go to work, and we'll have choices. Who do you want to work with to do this? Who wants to work with me on this project? Somebody just look at you. I am a manager who will never force anybody. But once you choose the people that you want to work with, I expect the best. Sometimes if you don't want it, you say, next project I can't work with this person because of this, that, and you move forward. We should not take anything personal. Everything is all about Oracle. That's our only common goal. You should never, never, never for one second get anything personal. Just, I understand that we are human beings. I understand the frustration of not even going to class. Trust me, I'm frustrated sitting in an office, my house. I've not opened the door because the government said we should not open the door. You think we're happy? We're not happy. But please don't take out your frustration on each other. If you are frustrated, please go outside and shout. And just like Corona, you will go away. Yeah, don't take it out on each other. I know you people, when people go out of character, which means you look like a gentleman and you look like a nice lady, and sometimes don't worry. It's not we are all frustrated with this current news situation, but we are managing it in the best way. I'm sure if you came to school, you would have talked to me and I would have had the solution. I would not have gone there. But the new situation is that we should just try to, but please, let this is again, as we'll give ourselves other chances, but we'll not take this thing again. Please, please, please. I told you there was one rule in this school, and that rule was respect. So if we respect each other, we're going to get the best out of each other. If you are not comfortable with a group, it's very okay. We'll move forward. We don't. That's why I told you, Emerald is not going to force a group onto you. I will not force you into a group. You look for a group. If they have already started, you apply. You talk to them. They like you. You come in there. Trust me, this group things. It actually is going to make you. It will make you or it will make you. So take it very seriously. I like the fact that you are taking it very seriously. Else you will not even be upset if you are kicked out of the group. But please, let's talk about this as adults. If you all need me to have a word with, you send me a text and we can have a quick conference call. And like we said, the class group is the class group, and let's keep it as the class group. But again, we'll let this one slide because of this. Out of no disrespect, but it was the first time, and please, 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 if you lose your cool, you can lose your job. You understand what I mean? You are sitting in your place reading all these things for 1 year. You come and get a job, and your family depends on that job, and somebody makes you lose your cool. Trust me, the Indians will hit that last nerve of yours, and they're just waiting for you to react. They are just waiting for you to. And once you react, the trouble is never with the one who causes the trouble. It's with the one who reacts. And once you react, the Indian man just says, HR, I don't feel comfortable working next to this person, and you have to go, says the law. So watching yourself, keeping your cool at all times is very, very necessary. Are we good?
Thank you, Professor.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's start. And I'll start with any questions.
Yes, sir, I have a question.
Okay, I'm listening.
So my question is, before doing backup, if an exchange was being made to update object in the table space, and the log writer have already written to the log file.
The redo log file.
To the redo log file, yes. And now there was no archive, like the archive process was not writing to the archive log. How are we gonna start doing backup when the archive process was not writing?
Backups has nothing to do with recoveries. I want you to understand that.
I'm sorry?
Backup does not have anything to do with recovery. We want to start that thing right now. I'm surprised you're asking the question. Backup does not have anything to do with recovery. We need redo logs for recovery. Backup is copying your data files to a different location. How do you recover? You cannot recover because you don't have the archive logs. You cannot. That's why you must be in archive log mode before you can send your backups. Else, you have to restore to the point in time of your last backup. That's as good as you can go.
And you lose data.
On archive log mode, absolutely yes. But that's why today's class is here. Maybe their question is very timely because to avoid you losing data, that's why you have to do today's class by doing what? Configuring your database for maximum recoverability. By doing what? Making sure that your backups run, multiplexing your control files, multiplexing your review log files, and most especially putting your database in archive log mode. That's what today's class is about.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. But we'll protect against your question by doing today's class. So, any other questions? Keep asking. No questions? No questions? When I begin the class?
I have a question.
I'm listening.
I just want to know who fixes the size of the undo table space?
Who will fix it?
No. In fact, my question is it the database himself who fixes the size of the undo table space?
If your undo table space needs additional space, who will add the size of it? I'm trying to figure out what your question is.
No, that's not my question.
She's talking about the fixed size undo table space.
Oh, who converts an ordinary undo table space to a fixed size undo table space? Is that your question?
Yeah.
You. Is that an answer?
Okay, it's an answer.
The DB1, does that make sense?
Okay.
So if you have to convert that table space to a fixed size table space, in that case, you want to turn off undo retention time. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. Any questions?
Good, no good.
Any other questions, please? How is the homework going?
It's going so far, so good.
So far, so good. I like that. Of the 50, how many of you answered? How many has your group answered? Of the 50? Everybody should answer every question, and then you come and sit as a group, compare the answers, and get the best answer, and I'm going to give group score. So if you are the weak link in your group, you drag your group down. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
All right. So today's class is about media.
Okay.
I will see.
Okay.
Who's talking without muting themselves?
Me yourself.
All right. Today's class is about media failure. What do we mean by media failure? We mean storage media failure. What do we mean by storage media? Who wants to guess?
Yeah, the disks, the files on disks.
Files. So now we're talking, remember the last time we were talking of what? Instance fails. How will instance fail? Memory structure goes down, background processes, a critical background process goes down, instance fails. No, now we're saying, what about the database itself? What about the files? What if they fail? what happens? Files are stored on storage media, and that's what we're calling media failure. So the failure of a disk drive, your C drive fails, that file will fail. The file itself can get corrupted, that file will fail. You can even rename a file. Then you have renamed the file, that file will fail because you renamed it. You move it to a different location, it will fail because control file is pointing to a specific location for that file. So it's very important that we know how to restore our files. Who has ever taken a backup of a file? Who has ever taken a backup of a file? Just tell me what you did. Tell me how you took a backup of a file.
Taking a backup of WhatsApp conversations.
No, of a file, any file. Any file. Who's ever taken a backup of any file? All right. I'm going to ask you this. Should I ask you this question in another way?
Yes, sir.
Who has ever copied a file?
That's a file.
Who has copied a file?
Me.
I've copied the file.
From where to where? From the same directory, right?
Yes.
You copy a file yellow and call it yellow 2, correct?
Yes, sir.
So yellow 2 is a backup of yellow, right?
Yes, sir.
Then what's wrong with you people? Did you copy a file, Carfax_report to dot, and you copy Carfax_report from Honda to Tokyo, right? That was
Yes, sir.
That was backing up files.
Yes, sir, we did that.
Yes, sir, you did that. Marida, why did you not say you did that? You see, that is a backup. The backup of a file is a copy of the file.
From one location.
But in backups, we have to specify a specific location where we are sending the file. Does that make sense? We must have a location that we are sending the file to. We cannot just back it up like that. Just say, okay, I'm backing up the file. We have to copy it somewhere, but we have to know where is that somewhere, where we are keeping the file. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So, we must configure our backups. One of the most important jobs of a database administrator is to run the backups. Make sure your backups run. Make sure they run every night. What does that mean? Why do we need backups? Why do we need backups?
In case there's a crash.
Thank you. Thank you. In case there is a crash. That's the real reason why. If there is no crash, we do not need a backup. But we know that we have systems. Systems will fail. So we better be safe than sorry, correct? Even if it fails once a year, that once a year when it fails, let's make sure we do not lose data, because if we lose data, data is money. We've determined that, right? If I need to give you, if I now say, okay, I'm going to give you $500, I don't have to go and look for cash. I can just go to what? Bank of America, bring an app called Zelle, change data, it removes 500 from you. Guess what? It puts me 500 and I'm good. You are back being my friend. All right? That's how it works. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
All right. So if we lose data, we are losing money. If we lose data, we are losing the most credible aspect that the company has. It is data. So we are going to look for certain ways to make sure that we protect our files. And the best way to protect our files is by doing a backup of them. files will fail. Why will they fail? Because it's a computer. It has no reason to fail. There will be power outage, the file will fail. There will be power surge, up, down, boom, boom, fail. The computer itself may crash. Somebody may come and throw water on it maliciously. The files have failed. But we are not very worried if we have what? Backups. Are we good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Deletion of a file. Sometimes some people may go and delete a file inadvertently. Just like what you guys were saying. If Anita downloads that file and puts it in the Dropbox, somebody goes and deletes it. If Anita does not have a backup copy somewhere on her machine, that file is gone. But if she has a backup copy on her local machine, you can ask her to upload it again, which is called a restore. She can restore it again. All right?
Yes,
so
sir.
if you delete a file that is needed for database operation, we're in trouble. So we can restore these files and we can recover the files. All right?
Yes, sir.
We're going to restore the files from backup and we're going to recover the files from the archive logs, the redo logs. That's their job. All right? So we'll see how this process works and how it works very well for us. So Oracle Corporation defines media failure as failure that results in the loss or corruption of one or more data files, that is, data file or more and more database files, which will be data file, control file, or redo log file. Recovering from media failure requires you to restore and recover the missing files. To ensure that your database can be recovered from media failure, you must do certain things. Make sure that if media will fail, we are good. So what must you do? One, you must make sure that you have regular backups. Take backups, make sure that these backups are fine, they are solid, they are good, they have a destination, they don't run out of space. Make sure they are regular. One of your daily activities as a DBA is to make sure that you have their backups run every day. Are very important files like the control files. The control files are what we call DB1 files. Control files are very delicate. Make sure that we do not have just one copy of a control file. Make sure that you have multiple copies. In fact, how many control files do we have right now?
2.
2, okay. So we're gonna have an assignment today to make it 3, all right? And that's called multiplexing the control files. So it's a good exercise. You're gonna have the third one, I want you to add the third one. Note that you can have up to about 8 control files. We also want to multiplex our redo log groups. Remember, we talked about multiplexing redo log groups, right?
Yes.
For that, we do not want one file per group, because if that's the current file and that file gets missing, we can run into trouble. We may lose data. So what do? We multiplex, make sure that we have what? Redundant copies of our prioritized files. And after that, we are going to put our database in archive log mode. By doing what? Retain archive copies of redo logs. Our redo logs will no longer be overwritten like the way it is now. Every time overwritten. We don't want it that way anymore. So what are we going to do? We are going to make sure that we configure what is called our archiver, and our archiver will back up redo log files into files called archive redo log files. All right? And that's what we mean by putting your database in archive log mode. So to provide the best protection for your database, you must schedule regular backups. Most media failures require that you restore the lost data file from a backup location. We are going to configure a backup location. We are going to copy the files to that backup location. Does that make sense? And that is every night we're going to do that. We are going to multiplex our control files. What does that mean? All control files associated with a database are identical. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
If the database has 2 control files, the 2 of them are identical files. The only difference is their name, but they have identical information. If you have 4 control files, the 4 control files are exactly identical and the only difference is their name. Does that make sense? They contain identical information. Even if you have 8 control files, they are exactly the same. So, recovering from the loss of a single control file is not a difficult thing. If I have 3 control files, one control file number 3 goes down, what do? I delete that control file number 3, which is bad, right? I copy control file, make a backup of control file 2, and call it control file number 3. My database will recognize that for it has control file how many? 1, 2, and 3. And the database will start up. No questions asked. Are we following? Are we?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If we have 4 control files, control file number 2 gets bad for whatever reason. I told you that files will get bad for whatever reason, including somebody even just deleting it. There's no big deal. We simply make sure that the database is shut down. Then we copy any of the surviving control files. Remember, they all were identical, right? Until control file 2 got bad. So I can copy either 4, 3, or 1. I copy it in 2 and name it what? And I name it 2 using my regular operating system command. Then I start my database. Because these files are identical, right? When I copy that 4 to 2, they have the same information, right?
Yes, sir.
Remember, what did it say? All control files associated with the database are identical. So, recovering from the loss of all control files. What does that mean? If all the control files get lost, it's a little bit more challenging, but not the end of the world. But you should try to guard against losing all your control files by having at least 2 copies of them. You can guard by having at least 2 copies. So why are you having somebody say why are you having multiple copies? Therefore, it's because if I have 4 files, the chance that I'll lose all 4 is smaller than if I have 1 file, and the chance that I'll lose that 1. All right? And
Yes,
if I have a surviving control file, I simply just copy that one into the other ones, and life is good, and I move forward. All right. Again, the next thing we should do is multiplex your redo log files. To recover from instance or media failure, to recover, you need what? Redo log information is used to roll data files forward to the last committed transaction. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So if your redo log groups rely on a single redo log file, the loss of that file will mean that data is likely to be lost. Does that make sense? If you have a redo log group and have only 1 file in there and that file gets missing, oops, you must have lost redo information. Not a very good thing. Ensure that there are at least 2 copies of each redo log group. If possible, each copy should be on a separate disk controller. But we'll talk about that. Doesn't really matter in this case. But what we're saying is that in each redo log group, we should have more than 1 file. All right?
Yeah.
Then the fourth thing we should do is we should retain copies of our redo logs. We should make backups of our redo logs, and we know that the archiver does that for us, right?
Yes, sir.
So if a file is lost and restored from backup, the instance must apply redo information to bring that file up to the latest SCN contained in the control file. With the default setting, your database will override redo information after it has been written to the data file. That is if you don't put your database on archive log mode. It means it will be overwritten. And we'll get into the trouble that, who asked that question when we started? Where if you are not in archive log files, you take your backup and restore. But we need to recover until the time of crash. Remember, we do our backups at 2 o'clock in the night, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if you restore your files, you are restoring it as of 2 o'clock in the night, correct?
Yes, sir.
So what is going to take you from 2 o'clock to the time of the crash? We do logs and archive logs. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We recover and recover and recover until the last commit. The database can be configured to retain redo information in archive logs, archive copies of the redo logs. This is known as putting your database of archive log. What does that mean? We will never overwrite. We will never overwrite a redo log file that has not been copied to archive logs. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
After a log switch, a file becomes active. We cannot override an active redo log file. We must copy it to the archive destination. After we copy, it becomes inactive, which means we can now overwrite it. All good? All good?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you can do this in the command line, or you can do it in OEM. All right. When you want to do a backup, right? The first thing you must do is you must make sure that you can configure that backup for full recoverability. What does that mean? It means that you can configure that for full recoverability. Again, blah, blah, blah. For one. All right. You must configure for full recoverability. Are we good?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Configure your database for full recoverability. It means that you must tell your database your backup location. Your backup location, are we good? It's called your FRA. And FRA stands for Fast Recovery Area. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
All right. You must configure your database for full recoverability, meaning that you must configure your fast recovery area. And your fast recovery area is the location of backups. When you are doing your backups, what are you backing up? You're backing up your files, right?
Yep.
You are backing up your files. What does that mean? It means that you are copying your files from where your files are right now. Where are your files? Where are your data files? Where are your data files?
Aura data.
Very good. Slash Aura data slash XX.
DMR.
That's where your files are, correct?
Yes, sir.
And your files are, let's just say you have 5 files or 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I ask you to back up these files, I'll be asking you to copy them to your backup location. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So where do you think your backup location should be? Where do you think your backup location should be? In what directory? Where?
Our data.
In Aura data. Why?
Because you have the biggest space.
Because you have a space.
Because that's where we have the space. Thank you very much. Does that make sense? So my FRA will be in Aura data. So my FRA will be slash or data slash FRA. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is the location of my backups. Slash order data slash FRA. So if I want to copy slash order data slash XXDMO to my backup location, I'll copy them to where? Slash aura data slash FRA, because I have more than one database in my environment, slash XXDMO. These are my files. Those are my backup files. You don't get it?
Got it.
No, it's okay, Prof.
People are, sometimes you can make me out just one, I'll just, yeah, okay. We want our files to be, you are seeing all my screens, right?
Yes, sir.
See my writing, good. So slash order data slash FRA is my fast recovery, area, FRA. And because I have space in order data, I'm going to store the files here. So this is the same one, right? Right, that is where I'm keeping it, but yes, because if I have another database called XXDev, I'm going to copy slash aura data slash XXDEV slash 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I will copy them to slash aura data slash FRA slash XXDEV slash. So you can see I can back up 20 databases. No, the files should not mix up. But remember, some of these files have the same name. Every Oracle database has a name called system01.dbf, sysops01.dbf, etc., etc. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I want us to agree, and hope you know why. Again, you know that this is how our data, our server is, right? These are server configuration. Started writing this one in there.
Make it look better.
All right. So this is our server. We know that our server is like this. This one has what? U01 slash U01. That's where that drive is, correct? And this one is
Yes,
what?
sir.
Slash
Data.
Yes, so that's where we have all our space. So we simply say our backups will go underneath this one. Are we following? So,
Yes, sir.
so our data is our FRA is specified by 2 parameters, right?
Yes, sir.
Our FRA is specified by 2 parameters: the location and the size. Are we good?
Yes.
We can, if we go to we can set 2 parameters in our parameter file. We'll have our DB recovery file. This is the location, right? Location. And our DB underscore recovery file guest size. What is that? The size of that location. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
So for us to configure our FRA, we must set these two parameters. Recovery file desk, which is the location, which is what? Destination is where? Is what? Slash or data slash FRA slash. You must put that slash at the end of the definition of an FRA because it's expecting different databases. All right. So
Yes,
this
sir.
will be the destination, and we're going to do 25 gigs for our FRA size. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Why are you quiet? So I see some people are not good. I have brought something to write on the board. You really complained that I was not writing on the board. Can we see what I'm writing?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We
sir.
can
Very
see.
good.
No, it's okay, Prof.
A lot of
Alright.
Doing good.
All right. So what we want to do now is we want to set our DB recovery file desk and our DB recovery file desk size. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
So that is what is called configuring your FRA. So configuring the fast recovery area. Fast recovery area strongly recommended for simplified backup storage management. Storage space should be away from your data files. That's why it's in the FRA. The location should be specified by the DB recovery file desk parameter. Size specified by your DB recovery file desk size parameter. Remember, look at what it said. Why did I come up with 25 gigs? It says it should be large enough to contain archive log files, flashback logs, multiplex control files, multiplex redo logs, automatically managed according to your retention policy. Okay. So we are also going to set a retention policy, but that's part of our Friday's work. Okay. Give me a machine number. Give me a machine number.
Student 81.
Student 81. Your database is up and running, correct?
Yes.
So we are trying to configure those two parameters. Let's go to our change settings. And we'll do colors, default, foreground, modify, black. Okay. Default background, modify, white. Okay. Appearance, change. Oh. All right. So we are going to log in as Oracle class 26. Okay. So you see what I just showed you. ER space minus H. I think I heard another talking about that, right? This guy here, you see my cursor, right?
Yes, sir.
That's your slash U01. And this one is our data. Look at this slash. It has 16 gigs. The software itself has taken 8 gigs. Use 8 gigs. Available just 6 gigs. You cannot put backup there. One backup will fill the whole thing up. 99 gigs, you have used just 7% of it. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's just to show you your space breakdown. All right. So what I want to do is, I want to, let's set environment. What's the name of your database?
CIDMO.
CIDMO.
Yes.
CIDMO. All right.
Okay, everybody for that class, this CIDMO.
Okay. So we are going to SQL SQL plus DB. All right. So what we are trying to do is say we're going to try to change those two parameters, correct?
Yes, sir.
You all can see my thing, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're going to show parameter recovery. You know what? No, let's not go here first. We must first go and create an FRA. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Let's go and create a location in the in our slash or data called FRA. So let's go to CD slash aura data. Let's list there. You have CIDMO, JJ, Lala, KKD. Are we good? Right? So in here, in aura data, we want to create a location and call it our FRA. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to mkdir FRA. So when we list in here, guess what? We have FRA. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if we can see the FRA, we know that we have a directory called what? /data/FRA. So our directory physically exists. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
This our directory which we talked about here physically exists. Yes. /data/FRA physically exists. Does that exist?
Yes, sir.
It will fail. We cannot call it our. All right. So now that we have our directory, we can now go and tell our database that that is our DB recovery file destination. And then we'll give you the size of what? 25 gigs.
25 gig.
All right. SQL plus slash. Okay. So do show parameter recovery. So this is what it's set now to. All right?
Yes, sir.
It is not our location that we want it to be. So we're going to do alter system set DB recovery. You see that?
Nice.
Alter system set DB recovery file desk. Look at where I'm copying it from. DB recovery file desk. What is it set to now? Something you use 01, right? And
yes.
We cannot put a user one because we don't have the space. Desk. All right. Equals. It says string, so you put it in quotes. Slash or data slash FRA slash. I told you must end with a slash, right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I want this information to take place right now and also take place in the SP file. What am I going to scope it to?
Scope both.
Very good. Scope equals both. So it will take effect right now, and it will also write in the SP file. So the next time we are starting up, guess what? It will take it up. All right. System order. Now I have the next task to change what? DB recovery file desc size, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'll do alter system set file desc size equals what?
25
gigabytes. Scope equals what? Both. Does that make sense? Does it?
Yes, sir.
So,
Question?
No, sir.
So now let's do show parameter recovery again. You see, before we made these changes, we did that. So let's do show
Parameter recovery.
You see, that's how we have now configured our fast recovery area.
Okay.
One, we created a directory. Two, we changed the parameter of the DB recovery file destination inside the database. Three, we changed the parameter for the file size inside the database. Who creates the location? That location must exist. So if you don't have it, it means that maybe you have not yet created the location. Then you have it, or you have not spelled it correctly. Does everybody have it?
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe?
I have it.
Good. You need to have this because at the end of today, I want us to take a backup of our database. First day. We will not schedule it, we'll schedule it in the next class. The fast recovery area is a space that is set aside on disk to contain archive logs, backups, flashback logs, multiplex control files, multiplex redo logs. A fast recovery area simplifies backup storage management, and it is strongly recommended. You should place the fast recovery area on a storage space that is separate from the location of your database files and primary online redo log files or draw files. The amount of disk space that you are going to allocate in our case is what? 25 gigs, right? For the fast recovery area depends on the size and the activity levels of your database. As a general rule, the larger the fast recovery area, the more useful it is. Ideally, fast recovery area should be large enough for copies of your data and control files and for flashback, online redo logs, and archive logs needed to recover the database with your backup sets kept based on the retention policy. In short, the fast recovery area should be at least twice the size of your database, depending on how many backups you want to keep. We will start with keeping 7 backups, 7 days of backups. That is called our backup retention policy. As time goes on, we will see if we need to reduce them and so on. But I want us to start keeping about 7 days worth of backups. That's why we went up to like 7 gigs. The backup, the database is now maybe like 4 gigs. All right. There's going to come a time when that 25 gigs is going to be small for backups. I want you to see the errors then, and then you see how to go and fix it, because those are the kind of things that you see at work. You can't just fix it and think that it never gets bad. You want it to break. You want to do something. The database will hang. Space management in the fast recovery area is governed by your backup retention policy. I said, well, we'll have asked for how many days? 7. The retention policy determines when files are obsolete. What does that mean? A file being obsolete? Or what does that mean? Something being obsolete means what?
Expired.
Expired, no longer needed. All right? So if our backup retention policy is 7 days, what day is our backup going to be obsolete? If our retention policy is 7 days, on what day is our backup going to be obsolete?
8th day.
The 8th day. All right. Retention policy determines when the backups will be obsolete, which means that they are no longer needed to meet your data recovery objectives. The Oracle database automatically manages this storage by deleting the older files. Automatically, Arman will go and delete the older backup files for you. All right? Good. Please make sure you have that right. Well, let's get to the next part when we said we'll do that, configure our database for full recoverability, then we'll multiplex our control files. I had a dilemma with this one. All right? And what was my dilemma? Control files is a very nice thing. They are, like we said, but it's very delicate as well. Because if you mess up your control files, as some of you have already done, there are a few remedies to mess up all of them. But if you mess up one and I have one surviving one, no problem. I delete the rest, copy the other one, because they are exactly identical. But note that you can have 7 control files. If one control file goes down, your database goes down. I want you to understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
All control files are needed all the time. If you have 4, one control file goes bad, your database goes bad, because it must be writing to all the 4 control files at the same time. Anybody have a question with that? Does anybody have a question with that? I want you to take a look at the right side storage, which says file system storage. We are using file system storage. And that's what we're going to use when we're multiplexing our control file. We're going to alter the SP file with the alter system set command. We just did that. After the alter system set command, we are going to shut down the database. After that, we are going to copy our control files to a new location. In this case, I don't want a new location. I want us to copy our control files to the same location. And after that, you open your database. And that's how we fix our control file. A control file is a small binary file that describes the structure of the database. It must be available for writing by the Oracle database whenever the database is mounted or open. It must be available for writing whenever the database is mounted or open. Without the control file, your database cannot be mounted. And recovery or recreation of the control file is required. The database should have a minimum of 2 control files. All right? Says here, for safety, you should store them on 2 separate devices to impact the loss of 1 control file. Different storage devices, doesn't matter. You store all of them in the same database name. That's where the 2 that you have now are. The loss of a single control file will cause the instance to fail of a single. I don't care if you have 2 or you have 5 or you have or 8. If one goes down, the database will fail, your instance will fail. Because all control files must be available all the time. However, recovery can be a simple matter of copying one file to of copying one of the other control files, which means if file 2 is bad, you just copy 3 into 2, you name it 2, and you move forward. Start on that database and you go your way. I mean, very simple, very quick to do. But if you have one control file and you lose one control file, what does that mean? You have lost all control files, correct? Correct?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Oh, look like
The loss of all control files is slightly more difficult to recover from, but not catastrophic, but it will take more time. Are we following?
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Sure.
So if I look at this diagram, it shows that I have to alter the SP file, and the second process is I have to shut down
the database.
Yeah, before it could be possible to start recovering, right?
No, to start recovery.
Okay, because I was wondering if like if you want to recover from a database crash, if it is possible to shut down before you do it, because I know companies like Walmart, they won't allow their database to be shut down before you do complete recovery. I don't know if it's possible for the database to keep running and you still do recovery.
I don't know what you keep saying recovery. I don't know whom you're going to start with, and they have just confused you enough that this class is totally a waste of your time. You understand? Who tried to teach you this database thing? Because I'm talking control files. One control file goes down, database goes down. You're not talking recovery. Where's recovery? I'm telling you how you're going to get that control file back. How you're going to get that control file back. It's a manual process that I want you to create. Can we use other processes? Yes, but you must learn how to do it. They are talking about that. I don't know who's telling you, but they're telling you what they know, and they're talking about.
There, no one is telling me. I was just maybe I was getting it mixed up. That's it.
You are getting it mixed up, which is not a good thing. From your first question, you are telling me about recovery when there is no archive log mode, and we are yet to go to archive log mode, and even what it means. You should be very, very careful. Again, I'll repeat it to you. Those of you who go to DB2 to learn, you will not learn from them one bit. They know enough to confuse you. They are learning, but they are at the stage 2 of learning. You are at the stage 1 of learning. That's why you are called DB1 and they are DB2. If you go there, they will confuse you very, very well. It will never be, it will be very, very hard for you. I want to give you the bottom phase. When we finish with this one, we'll test ourselves, we'll pass a minute, and go to the next phase, we'll crank it up a little. Then we go to the third phase, we'll crank it up a little, then you go and walk. But if I take you, I want to put it on that day, that DB3 kind of thing, I want to tell you that right now, this class will have dissolved a long time. There's a reason why we're giving it to you slowly but surely. I want you to understand, for me, today, if you leave here, and as soon as you back up, you say copy a file from one location to the other, I'll say pass. Tomorrow you come, you give that same answer, I'll say fail. Is to copy it to the FRA, good. And the FRA is what? /FRA/ correct. They are set by parameters that were set in that DB recovery file, there's DB recovery file, there's size, correct. That's how you have to start learning this thing. Because once you go there, they'll say, put your FRA here or put your FRA there, you are confused. You don't even know what the FRA is. You must know the fundamentals. I am training you for a career, not for a job. If you want a job, let's go and memorize interview questions and go and take jobs. Then you go there, figure yourself out. Delete my number as soon as you leave. Bello.
Yes, sir.
What you want to do?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Wow.
I didn't get you. You say what?
I'm asking you if you want to go and memorize past questions and go and get a job.
No.
But if you are trying to understand this thing, go with baby steps.
Okay, sir.
Go with baby steps. These slow steps, moving slowly but surely, you are going to get there very easily. Very, very easily. All right?
Okay.
Okay. So the loss of a single control file causes the instance to fail. because all control files must be available all the time. However, recovery can be very simple. Just take one file, copy it to the other. That's it, you're back, you're good to go. All right? But the loss of all control files, again, like I said, if you have one file, you lose that file, it means you've lost all, and recovery will be dangerous. And to create a control file is a piece of cake. Very, very easy thing to do. Okay, my assignment today, I had this dilemma. I asked the people in the morning class. My assignment is go and add a third control file to your control files. That's multiplexing control file, right? In this case, I'll ask you to just add just one to them, to the two that exist. I said, should I do it, or you want to go and try and do it?
You go try.
Make mistakes if you want to make any mistakes. Then when you come, we'll try to fix it. But the warning that I'm giving the class is that please do not try it in your class database. Try it in your play database, right? All of you have a demo database that you can play with.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So go with your play database, try to multiplex. These are the steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, just like in the first page. We are going to start from here, where it says, in a database, this first site is using ASM storage, but we are running in a database using regular file system. So what we are using is regular file system. Adding a control file is a manual operation. Look at what the first thing they did. Just like we saw on the first page, what did they do? Alter the SP file. You see that? You see that?
Yes, sir.
So in this case, they had two. They're adding the third one. Please note that this is this person's configuration. This is how his own environment is. Your environment must not be the same like their own. I want you to fix it in your own, right? After you have altered this SP file, scope equals to what? SP file, right?
Yes, sir.
Then you go and shut down the database. Then you use the operating system copy command. What is the operating system command to copy?
CP.
Very good. So use the operating system copy command to copy an existing control file to the third control file, and after that you open your database. And guess what? You have multiplex. Show parameter control underscore files. You see the 3 control files there. The database started and open. Once you know this, it's another milestone. It's one of those little things that who keeps saying, man, Marina, what's it?
Hungry.
Hungry when you are at home.
Hungry.
You are home, you complain hunger too. What you do? Okay, so what I'm saying is, do not do this in your class database. Do it in your play database, right? And then we can see how this can work. And then we can see any issues that you have. I'm sure Emerald is going to fix it with you, or I'll fix it with you. But once you are comfortable with it, then move it onto your production database, your class database. If you can do it there, if you've done it fine, you see that you can do it fine, then just go to your class database and do it, because I want your class database to have 3 control files. We're going to also redo loss is a very piece of cake. You can always do that one. Do it with you can do it on Enterprise Manager, even with your class database. No, please, just quick.
But you just did another one, right? Or you did it in another one?
I didn't get you.
Just another. What you just did, the practice you just did before.
Which one? Yeah, that one which I put, what was that?
Yeah,
DB recovery file desk, yes.
Yeah.
What happened?
I mean, it's the same thing, right? But in a different way.
But yes, it is a different parameter. That one was setting the parameters DB recovery file desk. and DB qualified their size, but this one, it is setting, this one has given you its own steps. This one has 4 steps, that one had only 1 step.
Okay.
This one says, and this one, that one scope was equals to both. This one says you're not going to scope to the present instance. That's why you're scoping it to the SP file. Shut down your database. The operating system command to copy is what? CP. And after that, you open your database.
Okay.
I hear some of you have already been trying it already. How many of you have tried to multiplex your control files? How many of you? Nobody? No, I know there's a group that did that the other day. They asked the question.
It was a Hidulok file, not a control file.
Oh, you are multiplexing the Redo log and not the control file?
Yeah.
Why did you not do the control file?
Very controlling.
Control file is very controlling. It's not controlling. You guys should take control of it. Don't let it control you.
Sir.
Natu,
Yes, sir.
what's the question?
I don't have any questions.
Oh, you know all of these things?
I'm understanding now.
Ah, oh, you are those who wanted the writing on the board. You have seen writing on the board and you are now good. All right. Francis. Francis is sleeping. You see?
You drink your Heineken.
Francis. The man drinks Heineken all the time. Everybody's good?
Yes, sir.
Not really. Yeah, we're good.
All right, please try it in your class database and in your play database, and if it works, then you can move it over. If it doesn't work, don't try because you can take the database down. Anyway, we have but that first section, the first one, setting those parameters, I want you to do it because our next the next 2 things we'll do depend on it. Or the last thing we're going to do will depend on that. And that must be configured. The next is multiplexing your Redo log files. We'll describe this over and over again, correct?
Yep.
Somebody tell us what it is. Somebody tell us what we mean by multiplexing our Redo log files.
Having multiple, more than 3 members in one.
All right. We know that it is dangerous to have 1 member per group because if we lose that member, it means we've lost the group, right? So what are we going to do? We are going to add additional members. The secret in this thing to this thing is the secret to multiplexing the Redo log file is go and write the names of your Redo log files aside. You understand? Before you jump on Enterprise Manager, you must have all the names. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
If you write all your names down, then you'll be good. So for example, that is group 1. This is group 2. And this is group 3, 1 file. All right? I want to begin with this. Okay. So right now, our files is called redo 01.log, right?
Yes, sir.
In group 2, we have redo 02.log. And in group 3, we have redo 03.log. So our exercise is to add 2 files to group 1, 2 files to group 2, and 2 files to group 3. Does that make sense? So this one is my naming convention, my naming convention. Create yours. Some people will create their own and put XYZ, some will create put ABC, but I will create mine like this. I will do redo 012.log, and I name this one redo 013.log. I will do redo 022.log, and I'll name this redo 023.log. And I'll call this one redo 032.log, and I'll do redo 033.log. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So, group 1 has 3 files, group 2 has 3 files, group 3 has 3 files. So we know that log writer will write it like this, right? Same information. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
So why is if reduce 01.log has an issue, we're not worried. All that will happen is that the database is not even going to crash. We'll just send a message, we'll send a message to that alert log that one is not working because it knows that 012 and 013 are working. And if you are writing now on this one, 01 this and 022 and 023 are working. And so on and so forth. So create your own. Do not try to copy my own, else you stumble at some point. What is that? Hey.
Auntie Emma.
Auntie Emma. You don't have no discipline, Auntie Emma. You can't believe where people come from. All right.
I'm coming from Banjo.
Multiplex rule log groups to protect against media failure and loss of data. This increases database I/O. It is suggested that rule log groups have at least 2 members per group. In that case, we're going to have 3, correct? It's a very simple exercise. Rule log groups are made up of 1 or more rule log files. Each log file in a group is a duplicate of the others. Oracle Corporation recommends that rule log groups have at least 2 files per group. If using file system storage, then each member should be distributed on separate disks or disk controllers so that no single equipment failure destroys the entire group. If using ASM storage, we are not using that. So you simply want to put them on separate disks. We understand that, but we are using RAID systems, so it wouldn't work for us. The loss of an entire rule log group is one of your most serious media failures because it can result in the loss of data. The loss of a single member of multiple member log groups is trivial and does not affect your database operation, other than causing an alert to be published in the alert log. Does that make sense? So if you have multiplex copies, you lose one member, nobody cares. Alert log will just have the message, you go and clear and then put the message and put another file in there. Recovery from the loss of an entire redo log group will require advanced recovery techniques, and we're going to deal with that in DB2. Remember that multiplexing redo logs may heavily influence database performance because your commits cannot complete until the transaction has been written to the redo logs. We know that, right? Fastest disk and the fast writer. You must place your redo log files on your fastest disk, served by your fastest controllers. If possible, do not place any other database files on the same disk as your redo log files, unless you're using ASM. Because only one group is written to at a given time, there is no performance impact in having members on the same disk. So we're either going to write into the files of group 1 or group 2 or group 2. We cannot write on group 1 and group 2 at the same time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all it's saying. So it is a very simple exercise. I think the only precaution here is that, so when you have your files, all you need to do is just go and click, click, click and add. You log in here as one user, as the sys. What's going on? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Which one? Enterprise Manager?
Zoom. No, Enterprise Manager.
Oh.
Bank of America.
Bank of America, you want that one? See people here.
Bank of America.
Yes, sir.
You want to go to the Bank of America one? Which machine was I using? Student what? Somebody give me their machine.
173.
Is your Enterprise Manager working?
Yes, sir.
That's courageous. You people are very weird. There was a time when everybody was fighting for me to use their machine. Now, nobody wants me to use their machine.
Well, because when you're using a machine, we don't understand like if you were doing it yourself.
That's why you don't want me to use your machine. I will use your machine in fact. No, but I'm using it to teach now, so you are learning it. I'll not do it, I'll just show you where to do it. I'm just saying you should log in as 6 DBA. All right? So, okay. So the 173.
What's the password?
What's the password for SIS? All right. Okay, so we're going to go to server, redo log groups, and you can take group 1 and you edit, and then you can add. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And then you can add a file. So you're going to add 2 files, right?
Yes, sir.
Make sure you remember the file size. This is the file size here. And then you go here, you click on add, put the file name there, you add. All right?
Yes, sir.
But the most important thing is to do what? To write out the file names before you start. So in this case, you're just putting in group 1, you know the files, the 2 files to add. To that one, group 2, you know the 2 files to add, and so on.
We must remember the file space.
The file what?
We must remember the file space.
File space.
File size. File size.
The size.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said. I said, look at the file size. I showed you the file size. I want them to be the same. So when we follow the same size that the other member, you're adding, you're not a brand new one. If it's a brand new one, you want to go to remember that file size.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
So, multiplexing is just telling you what I told you. So it says go ahead and create that file. Repeat the steps for every group and create them. It says when you add a rule of member to a group, the member is noticed, the member will be invalid. Does that make sense? Are we good?
Yes,
if you query your $v.log file, you see it says it's invalid. But that is because it is brand new and it has not yet. Oh, Jesus. So means I'll make stop noise to in this thing. Who is admin?
Natalie.
Then mute yourself now. All right. So what we're saying is that when you start, it will call you invalid, but that is because the log it has not yet experienced a log switch to that file. So that was why it's calling it invalid. But after there will be a log switch to that group, and it writes to that group, and there's another log switch, and it will start going between invalid. Sorry, it starts going between active and this thing, current, active, and what?
No.
What are the states of an inactive? All right?
Active, inactive, and current.
Yes, so it will start going through that cycle. After that, it will start by being invalid, then active, inactive, and current. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and talk about archive log files.
Okay.
Those who cannot get on Zoom can talk now. Too many people are too quiet in this class. And not as if I want you to talk, but